I ain't never seen a wound heal when you keep covering it up. Child, this whole town full of cover-ups. Let's get to it. American crime. Crime. This is season 2, episode 9. We start this episode off with Taylor. Of course, he's in jail. Counsel came down to talk with him, visit him or whatnot, and he trying to convince him to talk to his mom into letting it go. At this point, Taylor feels like it's helpless. Nobody's going to believe him, and he don't want to see his mother go through anything more than what she's already gone through. Okay. Taylor sees it as him taking responsibility for his actions. But the therapist asked him, are you taking responsibilities for feeling, or are you feeling guilty? And in my opinion, he's feeling guilty because he's talking about his mom. You know, he said that he feel like this is taking his mom down. And the therapist tell him his mom, of course, is not hearing that because she loves her son and she knows he was placed in a position and she wants people to know that he's more than just a shooter. Okay, and that's what she say to that counselor when she later on meets up with him to find out what Taylor said in his meeting. Okay, now next we're gonna go over to Sebastian, and he hacked into some members of the board of Leland School. And child, he done came up with all kinds of information. He done found the emails where they spoke very discriminatory against Taylor and his mom. And he got their names, their emails. He got it all, baby. And he gonna release all of that into the cyber world. That's what he's gonna do. Now, over at the LaCroix residence, you got Taylor and you got Michael and Terry. You know, just there as Kevin is getting ready for school. They trying to get him to eat. He don't want to eat anything. And Terry's saying that she feels that school reopened a little bit too soon. I mean, these kids' friend was killed, and he was killed on campus. And doing algebra won't change none of that. Michael thinks that it's a good idea that they reopened the school because it's steps toward moving forward. Covering up, child. Now, over at the Sullivan's home, you got Becca saying that she's sick. She don't want to go to school today, but Dan ain't hearing that. He tell her to get dressed, and they headed out in 5 minutes. You got 5, girl. Get yourself dressed. Now, Stephanie, she feeling that Dan, being a little bit too hard because he don't know if she's sick or not. And he telling them they need to go on with their normal lives. They need to move forward again. He's trying to cover up. He know his daughter a little drug dealer that done sold his boy drugs the day that he shot West. And instead of him, at the very least, just being quiet about it, he wants to move on like it didn't happen. They want to sweep this under the rug. He very quick to try to throw blame, I see, because he gonna tell his wife that, he knows she feel guilty and she don't know what to do. As if we did not see him partake in the marijuana too on a couple of episodes back. I think it's season 2, episode 1, if I'm not mistaken. He had a marijuana addiction too, so you can't really blame her completely for it. I feel like this: they're the adults. She's a 17-year-old girl. If she decided to go steal her mama drugs and go sell them, then and she ain't in an impoverished situation, then she bears some blame as well as them. Now, what they should have done as parents, I believe, is just put their drugs up. If you're gonna do them and it's not you one of them recreational users, keep yourself away from your kids to where they can't get hold to it from 8 to 80. It don't matter. You're supposed to protect your children. But this girl went out and she just started doing all of this stuff on her own, and he wants to act like it ain't happened and move on with life. And it don't matter the fact that this girl sold him something that altered his mind the day that he wound up actually shooting one of the students at the school. Child, I told you, don't nothing heal when you keep covering it up, okay? I don't know what to say about that. Anyway, Ann called Sebastian to tell him thank you, because she done read some emails that he done forwarded to her. She know what he gonna do, okay? Now let's go down to the school, and Kevin talking to one of the basketball players. I think his name is LaShawn. He talking to him, and he asking him, did y'all go beat up Taylor? And basically LaShawn tell him, yes, we did. We went, after we had the little dinner with you after the game, and you said all that stuff you said, we did go and we jumped on him. And Kevin is trying to understand, why would y'all do that? Because I never asked y'all to do that. I never said that. Yes, I did say what I said about wishing I could do something to him, but I never told you all to go do that. And do you realize that Wes is dead and he's not coming back as a result of what you guys did? Had y'all not jumped on that boy, he wouldn't have came back and killed Wes. It don't seem like LaShawn got it. It pretty much seemed like LaShawn was basically like, shit, we did it for the team, we did it for you, and that's it. We don't care who get hurt in that crossfire. So Kevin kind of just out of it, because he can't believe that they did that, okay? Next we see Leslie, and she's talking to an attorney. She upset about how the board wants to get rid of her and make her the scapegoat for all of this that went on, right? She feels it's unfair, and it's not, she feels it's unfair, is what she was saying. I'm sorry. The lady lawyer says she can only give legal advice, and Leslie said that's what she asking for. And she asked her, have you spoken with anybody, about your feelings, anything about this shooting? And she told her, no, she ain't had no conversation with nobody. She said she don't really feel like she need to have a conversation with anybody. I mean, she went by the rules according to her. She did her job, and now for them, and now that everything has happened, to want to use her as a scapegoat, she's not feeling like, well, damn, I put myself out here to protect this school and do all I can, and now these people just basically turning their back on me. If this boy would have shot me, what would I have died for? What would I have lost my life for? Would there have been any merit to why I lost my life when I'm doing this for a school full of people who, when things go bad, I'm the person they want to throw under the bus? Well, that lady told her straight up. She said, look, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I would settle for a good exit package, and I would move on with my life. Now, let's go down to the Marshall School, and you see Monica. She's the Latino teacher that was in that board meeting at the earlier episodes when they were talking about budgeting, and they were talking about the food budget for the Latinos and all of that stuff like that, where she also does mentoring to the Latino students and stuff like that. And she got Evie sitting in her office with her, and they talking. They speaking in their native tongue, so I don't know what Evie revealing to her, but she telling her something, okay? Now, let's go back down there to the Leland School, and the basketball players are at practice, okay? Now, tensions are high, because Kevin is not feeling the fact that LaShawn done told him that, yeah, we got together and we whooped this boy ass. So practice not going so smooth. It seems like it's a lot of aggression in the players. Instead of them practicing and working as a team, they kind of against each other, and eventually it winds up with being that LaShawn got into it with Kevin. I don't know what happened. Somehow on that court, they wound up getting into it, and all of the team members was trying to break them up, including Eric. Well, LaShawn says to Eric, don't put your gay ass hands, or take your gay hands off of me. Okay, that right there was a stab to him, because he realized at that point, these people ain't never going to get past the fact. They're not going to see me as their friend and fellow teammate. They're going to see me as the gay athlete, and some people have prejudices against me, and they ain't never gonna change. That's how they are. So he in the locker room gathering his shit to get ready to go, and he on his way out, and Coach Dan stops him and asks him, what he doing? He said he walking away. He said, if you leave, that's it for you. He said, do I look like I care? Well, Dan is trying to explain to him, what this is causing me to try to make this team work. You don't know the sacrifices that I'm making to make sure that you guys are okay. And Eric gave him a look of either I don't give a fuck or I don't care no more. Either or, he he told him, you know, he gave him a little smirk like, motherfucker, I don't give a damn what you over here going through. You don't know my story, so you can't feel, you know, you don't feel my hustle, so you can't feel my struggle. And he walked off, okay? So Dan now is sitting there with the cracked face because it's now becoming evident to him that these boys are falling apart, child. You didn't handle this situation right either. Now let's go over to the administrative officers at the school, and Leslie received a call from someone by the name of Michael informing her that the school servers have been hacked and documents have been leaked. She asked what documents per se, and he said emails, and they were ugly emails. It was very derogatory stuff that was released via emails through from the board members saying very disparaging things against the Taylor Bland situation, okay? Well, she told him to shut down the servers, shut everything down, and do a backup or something. Well, no, she told him that, let me see, she tells someone, okay, she tells him to let her know what's been going on, but shut everything down, and gets on the phone with someone by the name of Jay, and she tells him that their emails of the boards have been accessed and leaked, and she informs him that, you know, that he needs to completely shut it down and review the servers for a possible leak. They're gonna do a breach report, and she tells him, you call me first before you let anybody else know when you find out this information. Now let's go back over to the LaCroix house because Terry and Kevin have arrived home, and Kevin is visibly upset to the point where his dad is asking him what's going on, and he walked right past and headed to his room. Well, Terry tell him the reason why he upset is because members of the basketball team, they fighting each other. You know, they not, I don't know if Coach Dan can't or he just won't deal with it, but these boys is falling apart. Their friend just got killed. And Michael is saying that he gonna handle it, and Terry don't like the way that sounds. She like, no, don't you handle it at all. You know, you can't buy your way out of everything, Michael. And you know, she told him that she don't advise him to do nothing. He talking about that he gonna talk to Kevin. He said it ain't no problem with talking to him. The problem is getting him to talk back to you. Because at this point, Kevin ain't saying shit to them too much. So that's what they having to deal with. Next, let's go back to the Marshall School, and thanks to one of my subscribers, I can't remember who you are, I think it's Black Boy Breezy, but I'm not certain, but I have not known what this principal name is 9 episodes in. Chris Dixon is his name. So we got Principal Dixon, and he goes to see Monica, the Latino teacher. And he's saying that he understands that she gonna be making a statement at his review, and he asking the little cunt, is she gonna, you know, say anything, or what she gonna say. He wanna know, is he walking in here, and you know what he facing when he walk in here. Well, previously we seen they had conversations, they even had dinner where they were cordial with each other. Now this hoe wants to be Miss Professional, talking about what she say she'll be saying via the board, because he had said that the Dr. Lewis lady was telling him that it was standard procedure, but he feel like something more is going to happen. He coming to her because he think that she cool. So she asks him, you know, look, what exactly happened with the fight with Trey and Mateo? And he explains to her that Mateo was suspended for 3 days per school policy. And she asked him, well, what happened with Trey? And he said nothing. He said Trey was the victim. Mateo and his boys jumped him. Well, she talked about the fact that she does the outreach for the Latino students, and that Evie told her that Trey not only bullied her, used racial slurs, but he also tried to assault her. She said that's sexual assault. She asked him, did Evie tell him that? And he said no, because she didn't. She just, basically what she told him was that the boy was harassing her. She never said that boy was sexually harassing her. She didn't tell that man that. But he said that Mateo, what she say Mateo told you, and he said that Mateo said it, but Mateo also never said that it was a sexual assault. He just said that the boy had been harassing her. He told her, he said, Monica, I got over 2,000 students. I can't follow up with each and every student that comes along. And she said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke up the fight. And he said that he broke and Mateo called the N-word, and she wondered if by him saying that even though Mateo told him that there was something going deeper than what he saw going on, was he able to, was that the reason why he didn't really pay that much attention, because he had gotten his feelings about him using that N-word. And she is basically, she playing him is what she doing. She ganged up on him with these people because he had no idea that any of this shit was going on. He said, that girl never told me that, but old girl say, well, she came and told me. And the fact that she told me and not you, what does that tell you? So she's trying to say this man is racial, he got some racial animosity against the Latino students because of what the boy said, child. Now Leslie meeting up with the board, and she telling them that, well, she met up with one of the dudes, the Middle Eastern dude, the one that said the most derogatory stuff in the email, and she telling him that those derogatory statements that he made pretty much is leaving them in no position but to use one of their bylaws that state that they can dissolve the board and put it in the hands of a trustee. And she already has somebody set up that the community would trust, and that would bring ease to the community. It would bring ease to the donors as well as the parents of this school. Okay, he ain't here for that. He say he feel like Dan did. Like, she always managed to set stuff in motion, but she stays clear of it because she's letting it be known that she's talking about dissolving this board, but she don't plan on losing her damn job, just them. Okay, she told him that, what did she tell him? She said that the board continuously say stupid things, and she wasn't stupid enough to do what they did, plain and simple. And by resigning, dissolving that board, that's the only way that they can resolve this issue and keep the school doors open. And she left his ass sitting there looking crazy, because what she said was basically the truth. It really, if you look at this thing, this girl did do her job. We win, lose, or draw, like or not like, she did her job. She reached out to the parents. She talked with the man from over at the other school when Taylor went there. She also offered different services. She followed the protocol. Why she wasn't called in to have to, have more pressure put on her than them, I don't know. But she followed the protocol. And if they didn't have such racist, derogatory feelings about gays, excuse me, I'm getting hot in here. It's hot under these lights. Okay, sorry about that. I might edit it out. Then again, I'm human. I might not. But anyway, she said they ain't had them type of attitudes about it and was talking amongst themselves, saying stupid stuff. They wouldn't be going through this now. And she got up and left. Now, Sebastian is seen at this bar. And I thought that maybe this is some girl he might have met online, because we see him at the bar, and of course he's using his phone. Told you, computer. Oh, excuse me. Computer geek, child. Computer geek. He able to see his daughters at the hotel, and he said that's just some things you do as a parent, child. You have to check on your children. He also gets to telling her stuff like, when stuff happened, he asked her, has anyone ever said ugly things about her online? And she started looking at him like, what are you talking about? He tells her when stuff like that happened that he does something about it, okay, basically. And she want to know how, and he explains that he hacks people, okay? She not feeling that from the jump. He tell her she has no idea how vulnerable she is, and she has stuff online, and it's people like him who protect her all the time. And child, she pretty much is not here for that, because she don't care nothing about that. See, first of all, she was like, you got information on me, so what are you saying? You can hack me? That's why I said I think this was maybe this was a date for him or something, because Child, she got real upset about that, talking about was he gonna hack her and stuff like that. And my thing is this: if this was a date, and if I'm wrong, y'all get me together down in them comments. But if this was a date, you don't go on no date that you done met online, and the first thing you want to tell her about yourself is that you hack people, whether it's good or bad. The first thing that a woman or a man is gonna feel is they gonna hear that word hack and get a negative connotation from that, because I ain't never seen hacking related to nothing good. Every time something get hacked, people go through some changes, okay? So that wasn't a good idea. I don't think he should have automatically just went to telling her about what he do for a living. Child, I was like, Next, we see Ann meeting up with the lawyer and showing her those leaked emails, and the lawyer is basically telling her like this. They reference only the sexual assault, and she doubts it will be effective in his shooting case, okay? Ann feels it will because it will speak to Taylor's emotional state at the time that he shot with. You know, he just imagine if the school officials are talking about you and saying all of these derogatory things. Imagine what maybe some of the faculty and the students at the school must have been saying about him, which would have put him in a bad headspace at that time, and it could be a reason why he snapped off and shot the boy. Well, the lawyer not seeing it like that. She told Taylor's mom Taylor got a gun and he shot a boy. And she's saying she thought the object was to change the narrative, but the lawyer said it won't change the facts. That's the facts, you know. The best they could hope for is involuntary manslaughter, and during the sentencing phase, he could show emotional distress that might get him a lighter sentence of maybe 10 years, of which he would only have to spend half, and he could actually be institutionalized opposed to actually going to jail. If not, he facing 25 to 30 years. Oh, Miss Blaine ain't hearing that, honey. She got on that phone with Sebastian. She told him she need more evidence. What could he dig up? Because the evidence he's given so far only will help them as far as the assault case itself. It won't do anything about the shooting case, and he agrees that there will be more to come, and I believe him. Now you got Dan talking to Stephanie, and he's saying he can't help the boys now. Okay, he said he's spinning out of control. He said he told Eric that they are family and that he fighting to keep them together, and he didn't get it, and it was hurtful to him. Now we see his wife Stephanie go over to Ann's house, and she takes some pictures, because you know she take pictures for the school, and she showed them pictures to Ann, and Ann is basically like, why you showing me these? She said, well, these are just some pictures I had gotten of your son, and I thought maybe you would like to have them. His mama like, child, my son is in jail. I got pictures of him. I need something that's going to help me with my son's case. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Let me break this down real simple. What this woman did was, she go to this woman's house out of guilt. Okay? She basically confesses the fact that her daughter sold this boy drugs the day that he shot West. But here's the thing. She don't want the woman to tell anything. She wants the woman to go down into the jail and tell her son not to implicate her daughter as the person who sold him the drug. And if Miss Taylor don't do this, if Miss Taylor Bland mama don't do this, then she will have her daughter stand in court and say not only did she sell him drugs the day of the shooting, but she also sold him drugs the day of the party where he was supposedly assaulted. Thus saying that the football players never gave him no drugs. He bought them from their daughter. And Mrs. Bland is like, that's not the truth. She said, none of us know the truth. But that's what I'll say if you put me in a position where I have to. So y'all want this woman. You didn't even have to tell this woman this. But you took it upon yourself to drive all the way to this woman's house just to tell her, I guess, purge your guilt and tell this lady that your daughter stole your weed and sold it to him, putting him out of his mind, his right mind anyway, on the day of the shooting. And you don't want her to take that information to the authorities. You want her to just sit on that when there's something that could possibly, we don't know how much help that would be to her son or not. But at any rate, just to protect your daughter, you want her to shut her mouth about that and go down there and tell her son don't implicate that girl as the person who sold him the drugs. And if she do, when your daughter is called to testify, not only will she testify that she sold him drugs that day, but she's gonna make up a lie and say she sold him drugs the night of the party just to ease just because you mad because she told about her. Child, Miss Blaine put that bitch out of there, and I said, that's right, girl. Bye, Felicia. Bye, bye, Amber. Bye, Stephanie. Bye, Nicole. Bye, bitch. That didn't make no sense to me. Why did you come there with that bullshit? You out your damn mind. You think that woman just gonna sit here and protect your daughter and see her son go further down? Are you kidding me? That was no reason to even come there. This bitch act like she had hit the blunt before she went over there, because you had to been out your chalupa to ask this woman to do some shit like that. That's right, Miss Ann. Don't you crack, bitch. You put that hoe out of your house. That's what you do. Now, we go to the review for Principal Chris Dixon, right? And this pissed me off too, and that's why I said fuck Mamacita Monica. Fuck her too. Now he get in there and he admits, he tells them, I did not know at the time that I suspended Mateo that Trey had actually been sexually assaulting Evie. That is new information that had came out to me. I did not know that. You know, all I know is I saw Mateo and his crew beating up this boy, and I called him into my office. Yeah, there were some racial slurs slung that I didn't necessarily care for, and maybe because I was still feeling the effects of him saying those names, or saying the word nigger, I didn't pay as much attention to what he was telling me about assault. But had he said it was a sexual assault, I probably would have paid more attention, but I did not know about that. Child, now he admitting to that. Next thing we know, they done flipped it on this man and went to asking him about Taylor. The bitch Monica, in my opinion, knew about it all along, because later on I'm gonna tell you how I noticed this bitch knew, okay? Now, they done switched the shit around on him. They get to asking him about, did he know about the situation with Taylor Bland over at the Leland School? He said, yeah, I knew about it. He said, they asked him, did he get him counseling? He said, I got over 2,000 students at this school. I can't do individual follow-ups on all of them. They wants to bring up the fact that he did in fact go talk to Leslie over at the school about him. He said, yeah, I did that because I was trying to help. So now they saying basically you had time to go and research and follow up on Taylor, the white student who had issues at the rich people school, but you ain't had time to follow up with Mateo or Evie to find out what type of assaults that were actually actually done to Evie, or she's alleging that happened to her. Okay, did you not pay attention because it could have possibly been racially motivated, since Mateo did use the word nigger, which was a biased term? Child, they turned the shit around on the man, and it looked like he gonna lose his job, okay? Cause later on after the meeting, he's sitting out there, he outdone that. He came in there thinking they was going to attack him based on what the whole Monica said about the assault with Evie and the using of the word nigga. No, they done went and switched it around and took it to Taylor Bland, which is a student of his, had only been a student of his for 1 month, that he only did a minor follow-up because he promised that the boy's mama, that he would take care of him. It wasn't that he just didn't care. This is a good man, and it feel like this woman set him up, because she went to talking about that, was it a part of his agenda? And he was like, I don't have an agenda. See, everybody got an agenda. He ain't got no damn agenda. He just want to run his school to the best of his ability and for his students to get along. That's what he want. She, on the other hand, has an agenda, and he called her out on it. He said, was your agenda to have me removed? She couldn't handle that, so she walked on out. I don't have nothing for her. Because she knew what he was facing. She knew all of these questions would come down. And like he said, he didn't have no agenda, but clearly everybody else around him does, including the doctor, because I didn't see her come out and say nothing to him. So I don't know if he lost his job or not. But again, covering up stuff, trying to overlook things, setting people up for stuff. Child, this community is full of that shit, I'm telling you. Now Peter called Eric to come and get him because he said they out of money and his mama gone cuckoo for Cocoa Pebbles, okay? Kurt and Eric go meet up with the mama, and Eric finally has a chance to talk to his mama, who admits that the father had custody in the first place and she shouldn't have never took Peter with her, but she wanted to spend some time with her son. Eric is hearing her, but he ain't trying to hear her, okay? She say the only viable thing she could think of to do when they ran out of money and then Peter became afraid of her and the situation they was in was to call them to give him back, okay? He feel like mama just don't want to fuck with me, and that's what it is. Mama don't want to deal with him because he's gay. She worried about what her church member friends are going to have to say about her having a son who is gay, and that is evident. This woman gonna say this ain't the life that she wanted. Girl, that is so selfish of you. When you have kids, you don't know what you gonna get, and you don't never know in your own life how life is going to turn and things are gonna change for you. So that wasn't right for you to do your son like that. And he saw it for what it was. He told her, I don't want this life either, but I deal with it as best I can. Well, she brought up the fact that, you know, how you dealing with it? You on these sites, you having these little visits with these men, you acting all macho and super tough, faking like you like women. And then she brought up the stuff with Taylor. Already condemning him, which he might be guilty, but damn, this is your mama. She ain't supposed to say that shit. Basically, she don't like the fact he gay. She don't like the fact that life didn't deal her the hand that she felt like she was deserving. So the best way she deals with shit is not to deal with it. That's why she ain't there for the children. That's why her and her husband is divorced, and I'm assuming that that's probably why. This bitch wants this perfect life and she ain't never gonna have it. And she left her son standing there with tears in his eyes. She ain't shit either. I knew that bitch wasn't right when I seen her in that parking lot. I told y'all that last episode, okay? She want a picture perfect life, and it just ain't how it go in life. That ain't how. Whoever told her that fucked her up for life. Next, we see Evie go over to the jail to visit Taylor. He's surprised to see her, considering the fact that he already know that she done took that plea deal. Remember that them Leland people offered them money for their silence. Her parents accepted that. She said she did that for her family because she got tired of standing up for a man for a boy who was lying to her. He told her, you don't want me no explanations. You did what you feel like you had to do. But she there to ask him what really happened. And he told her, look, I may have lied about some things, but when it comes to Eric and the assault, I wasn't lying about that, honey. I wasn't lying about that. Well, she's saying that she recently went through some of the similar situations. You know, something happened and she couldn't go tell her parents, but she did find somebody that would listen to her. And Taylor like, well, shit, I don't have nobody that's going to believe in me and listen to me. But she grabbed his hand and tell him, you need to believe in yourself. That's how you begin to fight back, is to believe in yourself. I don't know how I feel about her, because, you know, I'll let y'all know by the end of this season how I feel about her, cause I kind of side-eye her, cause girl, you only got that money because them people want you not to tell the truth. If them folk would talk, but then again, on the flip side, your mama sickly, your daddy working himself into an early grade too, so I don't know, child. I'll let y'all know. We're gonna put a to be continued on how I feel about this little hoe here. Now, Kevin goes and tells his mama that he found out that some of the teammates, LaShawn and the crew, went and beat up Taylor the day before he came to the school and shot Wes and killed him. Now, they take him down there to that cop. Now, this is the same cop that leaked Taylor mama medical records and stuff. I don't know if this cop is his friend or the family, or this is a family member, but this cop, they always run into him and stuff. And Terry's saying that Kevin would tell whatever needs to be told when it becomes necessary. He gonna tell the truth. Well, Michael wants to talk to the cops separate from Terry and Kevin, so they leave out the room. And basically that cop told him, look, if your son implicate himself in that with this new evidence, it's not gonna matter whether or not he told them to do it or not. All they gonna see is that his black ass was involved in it, okay? So Michael thing is, Kevin wanted to confess, he done told you, and how about we just leave it at that? More covering up, see? Lastly, we got Sebastian. Hold on, let me make sure that that's last. Yeah, lastly, we got Sebastian talking to, I think that was Ann's lawyer. And he telling her more info gonna be leaked out. He said that's what he do. See, when you try to do wrong in cyber, bully people online and say negative things and put negative energies out there and stuff on the internet, he go in and he finds it and he expose your ass for doing this shit. So it will be more information leaked in the weeks to follow. Stay tuned. He ain't through yet, okay? Final scene, we saw Ann convince that board, in order to keep this school open and keep these coins flowing, we need to implement that article in our bylaws that allows us to dissolve the board and turn it over to a trustee under the guidance of her, of course. And against all the boards, even the Middle Eastern man, he was there. They had to agree to it because at this point, it's too much damage been done. This is the only way that they can somewhat have a chance at keeping the school open. If you ask me, they should close the shit down. But that's it, y'all. I done ran y'all 35 minutes damn near talking. So in the meantime, in between time, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want me to do a real world now, please email me links and the information you would like me to talk about. In the description box below is my email address. You can send me whatever you want me to talk about, and I'll be happy to do my little research and come back and talk to you about it. If not, then I won't do a real world now. That's gonna be weekly. If you want me to talk about something at the end of the week on the real world now, send me the information. I'll make sure that I always have my information down in the description box where you can email me and I'll check into it and we'll talk about it. Alright? Alright. You all have a wonderful remainder of your evening, which is Thursday evening, I do believe. And I will see you guys. If I don't see you for the real world now because nobody sends me anything, see you back on Sunday for the Real Households of Atlanta. Peace.